Just a quick update on the prophecy. As we kind of been doing, understanding the times of prophecy, going slowly through the overview, key points, and timelines of Bible prophecy, we're seeing just such a chaos that's developing around the world. There's a panic that's been going on thanks to the media as well. But things are going to get a lot more messier, a lot more crazier. But as believers, we can have peace and comfort knowing that our hope and our faith is in the Lord. He's coming back soon. He's in control of everything. There's no need to panic, but we do need to be wise. We need to be good stewards of the resources that He's blessed us with. Wash your hands, some basic common sense, no need to freak out. And don't give in to the hype of the media and what society is doing. But this is exactly the ploy of the enemy, trying to get people panicking. And also you see the issue of globalism, how they can easily be implementing these sort of strategies to eliminate the population, because this is why they're supporting abortion, to eliminate part of the population. But we can see how a virus like this, which is very similar to the flu, and all the other things that have gone on, but how it can wipe out so many people, businesses, the economy can be so affected as well. And again, as we're also reading other reports about the Iranian government, a lot of those key cabinet members have all gotten sick by this particular virus. And so it's just one of those things. It's just another flu virus that kind of is going through, but people are blowing it way out of proportion as well. But again, be cautious and careful. But it's part of the end times. We're going to see a lot more things like this developing. And so again, we got to be wise about it, but we are also understand how things are going to be playing out eschatologically. End times, it's going to get a lot more intense, the frequency, the magnitude of these things. And again, as that basic outline of the events that are happening, we already saw and we looked at it, Ezekiel 37, about the Jewish people coming back into the land. That was a prophetic end times event. We're seeing the perilous times, that 2 Timothy chapter 3, and also what you're looking at, Romans chapter 1, all coming out, how God's giving them over to these things. Matthew 24, again, talks about the signs of the times, how we're seeing a lot of false Christs and prophets coming and deceiving many, even the elect. There's wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, increase in famine and pestilences and earthquakes. The lawlessness and immorality is abounding like never before. Again, it's always had it since the creation of man. But what we're seeing today, it's on a whole nother level. As we mentioned before, the love of many grow cold, and we're starting to see more of the apostasy, people falling away, departing from the faith, given into deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons. And this is exactly what you're seeing throughout the churches today. The next major event, as we mentioned many times, is the rapture of the church. There's, again, different views on the rapture of the church when it takes place. But then there is the 7-year tribulation period, the rebuilding of the Jewish temple, which is another key component of what's going to happen during the tribulation period. Most likely that's going to happen in the first part of the tribulation period, because the Antichrist has to come on to the scene, and for him to be seated in the temple there to desecrate it, has to be rebuilt. So there obviously has to be a plan in place. But when that event happens, there's literally a countdown of 42 months before Jesus comes back. So you can mathematically count down how everything's going to pan out at that point. But the Antichrist then, again, he'll be on the throne there. And he's going to be there with the false prophet as well that's on the scene. There's a good chance, again, not saying that he is, but a lot of people believe that the Pope right now, Francis, is that false prophet. He has all the makings of it, but doesn't mean he is it. But you're seeing how he's trying to bring all these different world religions together. And then, of course, after the 7-year tribulation period, you have the return of Jesus to set up the 1,000-year millennial reign. And then, as it says in Revelation, that he creates a new heaven and a new earth. One of the key points for us to keep in mind right now, and I'll finish with this, is the imminent return of Christ. There's nothing else that needs to be prophetically fulfilled before Christ comes back. And again, for those who hold a pre-trib view, it makes sense. Those who don't hold a pre-trib view, it's not imminent, because you can tell when things will happen, the mid-trib, pre-wrath, or post-trib, which doesn't make sense because it's a quick U-turn. There's no point in the rapture in that sense. But the imminent return of Christ. But regardless of where people have their views. The important thing is, are you ready? If this was your last day, and you got hit by a car or whatever, and you were to die, are you ready to go to heaven? Are you going to heaven? If the rapture was to happen today, are you going up? Do you have your ticket? And if you're not sure, now's the time to give your heart and life to Jesus Christ and to surrender to Him. So that's the important message. Regardless of what your view is, the important thing is, are you saved? Are you born again? And are you living for the Lord? So those are the important things that we got to always keep in mind. And again, living each day if it was our last. Perhaps today He can come back for us. Are we ready? Is everyone going up? It will happen at a time that we don't know. So that's all I wanted to share briefly on the update and just kind of that overview.